Hello my lovelies! Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jamie. Today we are going to be going through, I believe it's through August all the way up till this weekend. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail in the beginning of this video, there's no excuse. So today what I'm going to be doing, we are going to be opening up our Book of the Month box, and then we're also have a haul from the library, and then we also went to the bookstore I usually go to in Gainesville, and I got an astronomical amount of books from them. So without further ado, we need to get started. Alright, so starting off with Book of the Month. I did go a little crazy this time. You can probably tell from the size of the box. This is supposed to be 3. And I got 3 this time because I really liked what they picked for this month. This is the first time in a long time where I wanted more than one. I haven't had that happen in a really long time. I remember one of them. I don't remember the other 2. Oh, this is such a big box. I'm just going to open it and then show you guys what it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was really excited for this one. That's what it was. Okay, so this first one is Hawthorne by C.G. Drews. I thought this one sounded so good. I've been using the preview of the first few pages, or at least the first paragraph, before I get them to see if it's even a writing style that I would be interested in. This one, not only the cover has gotten my attention for the past month, I've seen it on a couple of reading sites, and it's always grabbed my attention. I'm like, I want to read that. Not only does it look really gory and painful, this is supposed to be like a house with a garden, and oh, that is so cool. So right here, the flowers on this, they're risen and they're foiled. That is so cool. I'd say out of all the ones that they had for this month, this is the one I was interested in the most. So we've got that one, another one. This one I've read from this author before, so I have been anticipating this, and I spent the extra money to get the edition, the specific edition. It's Red City by Marie Lu. This is so cool. Well, I officially have a book with sprayed edges. It's happened, not by choice, because in order for me to get this, I had to get the exclusive edition. Go figure. But I have read a little bit from her before, and I have really, really liked the writing. This one, since it's the first in the series, I figured I would give this one a try. But, oh, that's so cool. So that was the other one, and then I did get a backlist one. Well, I wouldn't say a backlist, but one that's been on my Book of the Month list forever. But this is Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart. This is supposed to be a thriller. This was one of the ones from 2021, so this is definitely older, but a thriller's a thriller. This one, I think, was about 19 when our world was torn apart. Neighbors were brutally murdered right outside their barn, and to Jennifer's horror, her younger brother became the prime suspect. Ooh. Nice. So, it's a family questioning. So, these were the Book of the Month picks for this month. Only 2 of these were the actual ones for this month. This, Everything We Didn't Say, this is an older one. I still can't believe that I had to pay to get the exclusive edition just to get the book. It's kind of rude. But it was worth it. It was worth it. So, these are the Book of the Month picks. I'm very happy about that. And they were in good condition this time. I noticed there were no dents or anything on the box, so that was a good thing. Alright, Luna, here's your box. Starting off, our first stack is going to be the books that I obtained from my book friends. Both Jen and Shannon and I got all of our old books together, getting ready to go to the bookstore up in Gainesville, and we wanted to see what each other had before we took them up there in case there was something that we wanted. So I went through both of their stacks, they went through mine. We each actually took a couple from one another. We're going to start off with Shannon's. Shannon is a fantasy reader. She is mostly fantasy, not a lot of romance. She doesn't really like romance. So a lot of her books are going to be based around that. The first one I saw, the one I was really, really interested in, is The Last Unicorn. I have been trying to find the copy of it for a long time, and I haven't been able to. She finally had it. I loved watching this movie when I was a kid, and I have been wanting to read the book to compare it to the movie for a long time. I don't really care what the difference is. I'm probably going to love both either way. But this is the first one. Very, very, very short. The next one, I did just want the first one so that I could try the series, make sure I want to, read the rest of it. It's The Dragon's Touchstone. This is the Dragon Nimbus series. This one is a dragon type fantasy. You could probably tell from the cover. I have been wanting to get into more driven fantasy, kind of like Brandon Sanderson and the Cosmere and Terry Brooks and all of them. I feel like this is going to be a really good one. So, 300 years before the time of the Glass Dragon, the kingdom is at war with itself. Magic is wild and magicians uncontrolled, each working separately for his own goal. And at the height of the chaos, the dragons know they must intervene, and their chosen humans are Nimbulin, I believe is how you pronounce the name, a soul-weary battle mage who has nearly exhausted his own great abilities in the endless battles of succession between rival lords. And that's a name. Mirlando? We'll go with it. A witch woman and healer who will become the liaison between humans and dragonkind, offering the gift of dragon magic to Nimbulon and his fellow spellcasters. This is definitely on the heavy dragons and heavy magic side. Kind of what grabbed my attention. It is a long series. I think she had like 1 through 6 or something. So we'll give it a try. That's kind of like a shot in the dark. Alright, next one. Next one's going to be simple and easy. For those who read the Series of Unfortunate Events series, this is Lemony Snicket's unauthorized biography. Just the amount of humor this man has that he wrote into his books, but it seemed so serious. It's very intriguing. I not only got this, but I also got it for Nick too, because we're on number 9 of the series. We want to finish it, and then he also told me about this one. I had no idea this even existed until he mentioned it. So I've been on the lookout for this one too, and she had it. This was an instant grab for me. Alright, next one. It's a YA fantasy, I believe. This is definitely an older one. This is Splintered by A.G. Howard. I've seen this everywhere in the YA section many, many times. Do I know what it's about? I know that it's an Alice in Wonderland based story. I don't know if it's the same thing. So, that's not what I thought. So Alyssa Gardner hears the thoughts of plants and insects. She hides her delusions for now, but she knows her fate. She will end up like her mother in an institution. Okay. Say no more. Say no more. Well, now I remember why that intrigued me so much. Alright, this one was also an oddball one, but it was short and it was very fitting for the time. Like, the month right now. The World's Strangest True Ghost Stories. I have been looking for things like this, of actual ghost stories. I am very on the fence about ghosts, to be honest. I want to believe them. I know there's things that kind of prove it. These ones, we'll see. But it's very, very short. It's barely like 80 pages. Being easy read. Easy read. So the last one from Shannon, she's actually just letting me borrow this because it is hers. And she does want to keep it. Her mother got this for her. Remember what I said, Shannon is not a romance reader. She prefers very minimum or not at all. Her mother got us for her and thought it was something completely different, and Shannon's like, what the hell am I reading? This is something that Jen and I would like, because we can handle a lot of romance and spice, and that is just not Shannon's cup of tea. So it was really funny when she told me that, you know, her mom gave this to her, because I was questioning. I'm like, why does she have this? It's not a type of book that she would read. But I have heard a lot about the series. I have been wanting to start it, and this is the first book. Those were all the ones from Shannon, and I have 3 from Jen. She reads a lot more romance and fantasy and a lot of popular books that are going on today, like Powerless and, you know, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I can get, I can borrow those books from her. These ones she wanted to get rid of. These are ones that I have been wanting for a while. So we have The Duff. I have seen the advertisements and the trailers from this movie, and I have heard about the book. I just haven't gotten around to finding it. So this is definitely one that I want to get to very, very soon. All right, next one. This is another one that I have been looking for a while and really want to see the movie for. It's Midnight Sun by Trisha Cook. This one, I got intrigued about the synopsis from the get-go. This is apparently about a girl who has a very specific disease where she cannot go out during the day because of the sun, and she has to like leave the house like during the nighttime. That's the only time where she can leave the house. It's giving me vibes like I got from Everything, and I absolutely loved it. I'm wondering if this is either going to be very similar or at least the same kind of stakes that happened in that story. And the last one I got from Jen is one I've actually already read. I just wanted to have this because I loved it so much. This was the start of my Colleen Hoover. First one I ever read. Friends with benefits kind of thing without really the friends. So, yeah. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like the romance part of it. I did agree with that, but I did like the growth and the development, the personal development that we got from this. That affected me more than anything else. That, and definitely near the end, it got me. Those are the ones that I received from my friends. We are bad influences on each other. It's okay. And they actually went with me both times to the book sale and to the bookstore to get all the rest of the books that I have to show you guys. I already told them, I'm like, I'm a bad influence on you guys, and they agreed. I think the first step we're gonna do is, what do I want to do? I want to do the library ones first, so we're gonna do these. Bring this ginormous stack over here. Okay. The first one I found, I was so happy to find this. This is Let Us Know. So these are 3 different holiday romances, all written by different authors. There's 3 of them in here. One of them is John Green. This is the last one I need for John Green. If I read this, he is done. My backlist for him is completely done. The other one on here that made me want to read it is Maureen Johnson. I have read her before. I really enjoyed her writing. So this would knock off 2 backlist authors for me. And it takes place during the holidays. So hopefully I can read this around Christmas time. We'll see. This one I have heard many mixed reviews about. But I have heard a lot more good than bad. We'll see. But this is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Don't know much about it. This grabbed my attention more than anything else. Father and his son walk alone through burned America. Nothing moves in the ravaged landscape save the ash on the wind. To me, that already sounds like a dystopian, so it sounded right up my alley, which is another reason why I wanted to give it a try versus listen to everybody's negative opinions. This next one is a classic. This is The Travels of Marco Polo. I don't have anything on Marco Polo yet. I know a little bit, like they kind of teach you in school, but not enough to, like, you know, really say I know about him. So that's what this is going to be for. This next one, I was super surprised to find this actually at the library. They don't have a lot of like TikTok books that are going around now, or, you know, the really big name books like Twisted Love or The Spell Shop or things like that. They'll have them in the library, but not in the book sale room, if that makes sense. So this one, when I saw this, I was kind of surprised. This thing is a chonker, by the way. It baffles me. I have been meaning to read The Poppy War more than this one, but I have a feeling this is gonna let me know her writing style. That way I don't have to spend a lot of money trying to get The Poppy War. I can just read this, know if it's a type of writing that I can get into before hopping into that. I've heard it's very dense, so I am a little prepared for that. This is supposed to be historical fiction. I'm seeing this everywhere. These next two I was super, super happy to see and instantly grabbed. Ever since reading Me Before You, I have been trying to get all of Jojo Moyes' backlist. Flat out. Because I loved them so much. I'm like, you know what? That's the go-ahead. We're gonna go. I got not one, but two of Jojo Moyes' books. We got Silver Bay. This one is mostly about safety and freedom and escaping past self. And then this one, The Last Letter from Your Lover, this one is supposed to be like a historical fiction. 1960, Jennifer wakes up in the hospital and remembers nothing. Not the car accident that put her there, not her wealthy husband, not even her own name. So she's basically, it's an amnesia. You met in 2003, journalist Ellie stumbles upon an old letter containing a man's ardent plea to his married lover. She becomes obsessed with finding out what happened to the couple. Those two, super happy to see. I'm really hoping to get to her, if not this month, then next month. And I really enjoyed her writing, and I am so excited to dive more into her. Alright. This next one, this is actually the first book I've found by her so far. I've only read one book by her. I'm hoping this one will be the cement that makes me want to get some more. But this is These Things Hidden by Heather Goodenkoff. I did read a book either the real tail end of last year or the beginning of this year. I don't remember. I think it was the end of last year. I read it and I really, really enjoyed it. She's mostly a thriller writer. This one, go figure, it's got one of those flaps. See, if you're not going to put it on the back, at least have this in it. Yeah, so when teenager Allison is sent to prison for a heinous crime, she leaves behind her reputation as Hidden Falls' golden girl forever. Her parents deny the existence of their once perfect child. Her former friends exalt her downfall, and her sister Bryn faces whispered rumors every day in the hallways of their small Iowa high school. But then Allison is released into a halfway house and is more determined than ever to speak with her estranged sister. So, family ties, I have a feeling, with some very shady things going on. We'll see. This next one, this is actually from an author I read a lot of when I was in high school and middle school. My sister read a lot of her too. But this is Gem and Dixie by Sarah Zarr. This is a best friends based story. But Sarah Zarr, she's probably one of my most favorite young adult writers. If you guys are looking for a really good young adult, Lucy Variations, How to Save a Life, and Once Was Lost, I believe, are my favorites by her. Lucy Variations is about a girl who plays piano and her life going from there. And then How to Save a Life is about a girl who's giving up her baby to a mother and her daughter being a part of a family, and she ends up staying with them, and things start happening. So she does really good personal development and best friends. I really enjoy her work. So I'm hoping this one is a good one. I haven't found this one until now, so that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Alright, during my library trip, usually I find at least one, and I was happy that I did. I got my Gingerbread Cookie Murder by Joanne Fluke. Getting very, very close to collecting all of the series. It's funny how like half of the book in here is just recipes. But that's okay. Yeah, everything on this paragraph is how many she's written. As of this point, by the way. I'm super happy to see this. I only need a few more. I think I only need like about 6 more. And then I've completed the 30 book series. I did mention Everything by Nicola Yoon earlier. And I only need 1 more book by her. I wasn't able to find that one with either trip, but I did find a copy of Everything. I really love this one. This is one of the few. This is actually the one that got me started on Nicola Yoon. I read this first, and then I read The Sun Is Also a Star, and then I got to read Instructions for Dancing, and that has been my favorite ever since. This one I have been looking to find. It's been hard. I haven't been able to find a copy of this in a long time. So I'm happy I finally have it. It'll be on my shelf to recommend to people because I do love this one. And I've always loved the cover. Watched the movie, thought the movie was great. Just, I love it. I love the concept of it and everything that happened. Oh, this is one I have been hearing about a lot. I Got a Little Life. It's so big. It's so chunky. Oh, it's over 500. It's over 800. Jesus. It'll be interesting to read this. I have heard a lot about it. I've heard that it is very sad. Not only that, but I know it's a couple from a YouTuber that I watch, Dylan. He raves about this. He's about to read this book for the 6th time. It's kind of hilarious, actually. But I figured if he loves it so much, him and I have very similar reading tastes when it comes to certain things. I'm gonna trust his judgment. We'll see. But that's definitely gonna take some time to work towards. There's a bunch of stuff written in it. But it's an older copy, obviously. It's been very well used or beaten up. But yeah. Alright, the next one. This one is another backlist author I was so happy to find. It's Masterpiece by Fiona Davis. This one, set in the 1920s, Clara is teaching at Grand Central School of Art, and another art-based one. I'm noticing that she does mostly do art and historical artifacts and things like that. Love her for it. Though not even the prestige of the school can override the public's disdain for a woman artist, so it's one of those. Probably gonna get the same thing as we got from the line on 5th Street. And then we have, by 1974, the terminal has declined almost as sharply as Virginia Clay's life. Grand Central is at the center of a fierce lawsuit. Is the once grand building of a landmark to be preserved or a cancer to be demolished? Okay. So I think the masterpiece is going to be both timelines explaining different things and mystery behind it. That one I'm excited to read. I love all of her books, to be honest, to a certain point. This is another one I have heard so much about and is raving book talk at the moment. We got Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I like sci-fi. Been trying to get more into it. Are you happy with your life? Yes, I am happy with my life. These are the last words that Jason hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Say no more. Alright, the last one that I received from the library, and then we're going to hop into the bookstore ones. I was able to find Remarkably Great Creatures. I have heard so much about this. I've had it on my list to read forever, and I just haven't had a physical copy of it yet. About an octopus, a lady who stays in an aquarium, and then we dive into backstories. I've heard so much about this book from so many different YouTubers, so many different people, and recommended highly. So we'll see. I am definitely getting more in touch with literary fiction. That's it for the library. Okay, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. Okay. The last stack. hard doing one of these. It's hard doing one of these videos when you got a lot to go through. All right, so let's try and hurry this up because I'm almost done with my lunch, so I gotta get back to work. But okay, for those who have read It's Kind of a Funny Story, Ned Vizzini doesn't have very good track records on his books. I did enjoy It's Kind of a Funny Story. I did. The story of this man is so tragic, to be honest. If you guys look up an autobiography section, paragraph about his life, it's very depressing, actually. So, I told myself that I was going to read a couple of his books and see how well they were. But this one is called Be More Chill. This one is about your average high school dork. Day after day, he stares at beautiful Christine, the girl he can never have, and dryly notes the small humiliations that come his way, until the day he is told about the Squib. A pill-sized supercomputer that you swallow, the Squib is guaranteed to bring you whatever you most desire in life by instructing him on everything from what to wear, to how to talk, to how to walk. Can't tell me that doesn't sound interesting. So, I picked that one up. There were different covers, but I like this one because it's different. Alright, next one from my Gabrielle Zevin lovers, the author of Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. All These Things I've Done. This is a series that she wrote many years ago, actually, and this is the first book to it. Okay. Alright, so the next one, you guys watched me read Orleans at the very beginning of the year. Absolutely love Sherry L. Smith's writing. I already got another book by her. It's called Fly Girl. I hope to read that either by the end of this year or beginning of next year. But I was also able to find this one. I have never seen this before. This one is in Japan, 1945, so tail end of World War II. This is about a talented violinist and a kamikaze pilot in the days before his first and only mission, and he believes he is ready to die for his country until he meets Hannah. So this is, I guess, a kamikaze pilot questioning if he wants to go through with it or not. I haven't read anything really based in Japan about World War II, so that's one of the reasons why I picked this up. The other one was because it's from Sherry L. Smith. So, but The Blossom of the Firefly, that just sounds so cute. But we'll see if it's actually cute or if it's very depressing and sad. I have a feeling it will just be the latter. Alright, next one. My Jennifer E. Smith lovers, the author of Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. Good, that is such a long title. Or The Unbreakable Greta James. I Give You, Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between. I keep mistaking this book for another author. So this one in particular, one night before they leave for college, Claire and Aiden have only one thing left to do, figure out whether they should stay together or break up. In 12 hours, they'll be heading to opposite ends of the country, and they're anxious to resolve their things before we go. So probably a lot of debating, self-development, probably a literary fiction, I don't know. But she always kind of writes really heavy personal development stories. Those are my favorite stories to read because I love seeing like how we go from this end to this end and seeing the process of that. This next one, we got a few popular ones in here next, so I'm excited to show you guys. I was so happy! I got the second book in the Belladonna series, Fox Club. Oh, I've been looking for this one for a while. I am so happy I can finally read this one now. Now I just gotta get Wisteria. They had both, but it was a little much, so I decided just to get this one. Oh, I'm so excited to continue the series and see if we pick up where we were last time. Alright, next one, little mini choice. Shadowhunters and Downworlders. This is just a little novella from the Mortal Instrument series. Alright, next one. I have been looking for this book forever. And I mean forever. For some reason, this is the hardest book to find in the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series. And it's book number 2. I didn't want to start the first one without having the backup. For those of you who haven't heard of Miss Peregrine's House of Peculiar Children, it's a very gothic-based story. about children who can do very unique things, and they all stay in this little house. And there's a boy who ends up joining them, and the story goes from there. This one is called Extraordinary Means. This is the same author who wrote The Beginning of Everything and a couple of other books I've read. This is another one I have been looking for a while. Up until his diagnosis, Lane lived a fairly predictable life, but when he finds himself at a tuberculosis sanatorium called Latham House, he discovers an insular world with paradoxical rules, med sensors, and an eccentric yet utterly compelling confidant named Sadie. Very YA-based book. All of her books are, to be honest. Alright, next up is same author as who wrote Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. This is called The Haters. So, Wes and Corey are incapable of loving anything without relentlessly figuring out ways to hate on it too. And so when they are sent to a place as soul-crushing as jazz can, Wes and Corey hate it on with the extreme prejudice. Unfortunately, so does a girl named Ash, who may be even bigger and better hater than the two of them combined. So this sounds a lot like how Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl did. Two boys and a girl. It's just... I think her writing was really, really funny, and I am so ready to dive into something else by her. Next one, Francesca Zappia's Made You Up. Can we just speak for the cover here? Like, it's so cool. I loved the book that she made, Eliza and Her Monsters. That's on my shelf. I would definitely read that book if you like webtoon artists kind of stories. Really, really good. This one is armed with no take no prisoners attitude. Her camera, magic 8-ball, and her only ally, her little sister. Alex fights a daily battle to decipher what is real and what is not. And after an extremely unfortunate incident, Alex is ready for a fresh start at a new school where no one recognizes her. And before she knows it, Alex is making friends, going to parties, falling in love, but her inability to separate her delusions from her reality is always just under the surface, and it could have disastrous consequences for the people close to her. So, very curious to see where she goes with this. I did love how much character development that she put into Eliza and Her Monsters. But not only that, it's just written really, really well. I'm curious to see if we're going to get that with this same one. There's so little writing on the page. It's ridiculous. But it is YA, so that happens sometimes. Alright, this next one is a chonker. But this is Scott Westerfeld's Afterworld. I've been trying to dig more into Scott Westerfeld because I did love what he did with the Ugly series. I really, really enjoyed it. And I want to start another series by him. I figure I'm already done with it, might as well continue. So this one, Darcy is afraid to believe all the hype, but it is really happening. Her teen novel is being published. Instead of heading to college, she's living in New York City, where she's welcomed to the dazzling world of YA publishing. That means book tours, parties with her favorite authors, finding a place to live that won't leave her penniless, and that means sleepless nights rewriting her first draft and struggling to find the perfect ending. All while dealing with the intoxicating, terrifying experience of falling in love with another writer. So, I didn't know that that was what this was about originally when I picked it up, but I'm even more for it now. I did really enjoy his writing. Oh, it's so floppy. I love when books are like this, but at the same time, it's also a disadvantage because then you can't really hold it straight very well. Anyway, so there's that. And my last one that I got, and probably the most excited while I was in the store, was for this book right here. You know how I just finished reading the Crown's Game by Evelyn Sky? August? Guess what I found? It's The Crown's Fate. This is the second book of the series. So this book is the other book in the duo. There's only 2 books in the series. But I loved the first one so much. I was so happy to find this, and for a reasonable price, because I was worried that the hardcover was going to be more. And it wasn't. I was so happy about that. But for those who didn't get to watch my August wrap up or my TBR, this duo is about historical fantasy, Russian based. I thought it was so unique, so interesting, especially how they have the magic world and how they set up their hierarchy and all this other stuff that happened. There were some things I didn't like, but I'm willing to put those aside and dig more into this. But compared with the first book, this looks a whole lot darker than the first one. And it's red. So I am really excited. I get to also tell my sister about this one because she gave me the first one and she also read only the first book. She hasn't read this one either. So I am so excited to let her know if this is worth a read or not. But I was so happy to find this. This was the best find for that whole day. Right alongside Foxglove. Foxglove I was very happy to find too. And those are all the books that I have obtained in 2 months. And now I get to put them all on here. That is going to take me forever. Because I not only have a bunch of adult to go on there, but I also have a lot of YA, which means I have to start from the beginning and shift everything down. It's gonna be backbreaking, literally. My back will hurt by the time I'm done. Anyway, those are all the 39 books that I have for you guys today. I really enjoyed bringing these in to my library. I'm excited to get to them eventually. Probably not all right now, but a lot of them I'm looking forward to reading so bad. It was fun also going with friends this time. It definitely gives it a different feel versus when you're going by yourself. By yourself, you got all the time in the world, you can do whatever you want. This one, you're collaborating. However, with friends, you're collaborating with them, you're giving yeses or nos, or, ooh, I read that, that's really good, or please don't read that, that was so bad. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys have not already, please like and subscribe. It'll help me give you guys more videos every week. I definitely love doing these kind of videos. I know you guys definitely love seeing them and seeing what I bring into the mass already. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Love your reads and drink your teas. And I am going to go get started on reading some more. Bye!
You say it's hard to tell just what I'm thinking. You think it's hard to see behind my smile.